What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me right here at my YouTube channel. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, TV shows. And right now, I'd like to give you guys my review of the series finale of Wandavision. Although it might not really be the series finale. Let's call it episode 9. Season 1, episode 9. Let's just call it that. The season finale of WandaVision. So, there's a lot to unpack in this episode, but let me just start out by saying that I was kind of disappointed. Now, I wasn't disappointed because some nerdy fan theory that I had didn't come true. To be honest, I didn't have any nerdy fan theories. I did not think that Pietro, or Pietro, whatever you want to call him, I did not think that he was the X-Men universe's Quicksilver. I thought that would have been dumb. Really, I thought that would have been dumb. I think that when it's time to introduce X-Men into the MCU, I think it needs to be done all new cast. None of this multiverse hopping stuff. That would be stupid. I'm sorry for those of you who want that, but I think it would be stupid. When the X-Men come, it needs to come organically as part of the story, not, let's create a multiverse and have the X-Men characters from Fox. Most of those movies were bad, by the way, but let's have them come over here. Nah. I want to see those stories that were told in the Fox universe, I want to see them told in the MCU. So I do not want to see those characters over here. I don't. Let that exist in its own world. There were some really good X-Men movies, actually. Most of them were trash. So let them live over there. And the ones that are great will live on as these great alternative stories. And the ones that were bad can just kind of die. And we can get new X-Men stories told by the brilliant Kevin Feige in the MCU. I did not think that that Nightmare was involved. I did not think that who was the Sword director. I can't even think of his name right now. I did not think that he was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes. Yeah, I thought he was a bad guy, but I didn't think he was the one pulling the strings. Why can't I think of his name? I've only said it 500 times. I did kind of think Mephisto would show up, but it wasn't a deal breaker for me. And honestly, I kind of hoped that he wouldn't, because I want to see Mephisto get the big cinematic treatment. And, but I still kind of thought that he was going to. But I just wanted to be fair here. That is not the reason why... I'm getting a glare. That's not the reason why I did not like... And I mean, I liked it, but I didn't love it. I was a little disappointed in it. But it wasn't because of some fan theory that I had that didn't come true. Let's just get that out of the way right now. The reason I was a little disappointed in it was because... Number one, we had our big superhero showdown, just like we do in every superhero movie. CGI heavy superhero showdown. And I kind of felt like they were going to do something a little different in this, and they didn't. We had our big superhero showdown. We had our superhero landings, and we had our superhero beams coming out of hands, and we had our monologuing by the bad guys. We had superhero showdown. And I don't know, like I said, I was just kind of hoping they would avoid that this time. And another reason why I was disappointed was we had resolution, but there was a lot of loose strings still out there, and that's fine. I get it. You know, this is building on something bigger. This was really the first entry of Phase 4, and it's building on something bigger. But there was a lot of loose strings out there, a lot of unanswered questions out there. And again, I see the point in Marvel doing that, and I understand why they do it, especially in this kind of long-form storytelling that Marvel's really become known for. That doesn't make it any less frustrating when they leave those loose threads out there dangling. So, I liked it. I had a great time. Oh, one more thing here. No consequences. There's no consequences to anything that happened here. Wanda walks away. She walks away. She doesn't face the music for what she did. She didn't face the music for keeping people in prison. She didn't face the music for any of that. And she should have. She should have. She should have turned herself in and said, "I'm sorry." It wasn't a very heroic thing to do. But let's dig a little deeper here. When she decides to get rid of the hex, she knows she's going to lose Vision, and she knows she's going to lose the kids. There's still no consequences, though. All right. Vision, I think everybody in the world predicted that White Vision would get the memories of Vision. And that's exactly what happened. I am Vision. And he flies away. Well, of course he's Vision. We can't have Vision stay dead now, can we? So this fake version of Vision that she created died, but her love is still out there. No consequences. And, yeah, her kids disappeared, but at the end, in the post-credit scene, when she's going through the Book of the Damned, and she hears her kids screaming, you know that, number one, there's two scenarios here. Scenario number one, she did end up taking parts of Mephisto's soul and creating her kids, so they had souls, so they were living beings that could survive outside the Hex, and she has to rescue them now. That's one possibility. Or another possibility is she is opening up the multiverse to go get different versions of her kids, the ones that did survive Westview. That's a possibility as well. But her kids will be back because there's no consequences in the MCU. Alright, so my griping is out of the way. I still really like the episode. It was a lot of fun. There was not one episode of WandaVision that I did not like. And I'm going to put out a video later on where I rank all 9 episodes from least favorite to favorite. And the finale is going to be low on the list because it's one of my least favorite. But I liked all of them. And the finale is included in that. You know, it was great seeing Wanda, her interactions with Agatha. It was great seeing the way that she ended up handling Agatha. It leaves Agatha room to pop up later, possibly in Doctor Strange 2. I would love to see Agatha team up with Doctor Strange to defeat Wanda, assuming Wanda becomes the antagonist of Doctor Strange, which I think a lot of people are assuming at this point. This definitely told a very concise story in one episode, but it also left a lot of stuff dangling. I love the way they dealt with Evan Peters' boner, John Boner. He ended up being a nobody, just as I said when he showed up in his first episode. Hey, you got a hug for your brother? When he showed up, I remember putting on my social media, that is not the X-Men. That's not Quicksilver from the X-Men. You know how many people I had pop up say, wrong! Of course they're crossing over! And I'm like, no, it's not. That is not the same one from X-Men. Wrong! Alright, so there's a certain level of satisfaction that I get from him being a nobody. Because he was. He was just nobody that Agatha controlled. And I think it was even MCU kind of poking fun at the X-Men movies with the name John Boner. So I don't know. You know, out of the context of the sexual reference, a boner is also a mistake. back before that word got hypersexualized by society, a boner meant a mistake. You know, oh man, I just committed a boner. It wasn't a sexual thing. It was a mistake that you made. So, yeah, I do believe that there was a certain level of the MCU poking fun at the Fox X-Men movies. But good episode. It definitely opens up the door for what's going to happen next. I do wholeheartedly believe that this will lead into Spider-Man 3, because we know that she was kind of messing with the multiverse there at the end in that post-credit scene. So yeah, good episode, just not my favorite, and I was a little bit disappointed. But I can still be disappointed and still say, you know what, I was disappointed, but I still enjoyed it. That's perfectly fair, I think, and that's how I felt. I was disappointed, but I enjoyed it. So what did you think of WandaVision Episode 9? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your take on it. While you're down there, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out a lot of content, and I want to make sure that you're up to date with everything that I'm doing. And as always, thank you so much for joining me right here at the Geeky Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.